Hey, how's it going? John Bennett here, Mars Hill Institute, marshillinstitute.com. Hey, I was just thinking about something here. Today, I put out day 19 of this 21-day study that we were in, and it was talking about the death of Jesus in that lesson. And there was something that I included. If you were following along on the blog post, there was something I included at the very end that you might have missed, if you were following along with it. And if you weren't following along with it, you certainly would have missed it. But this might be of interest to you since we're talking about that subject. Now, part of my ministry, at our church and in the Mars Hill Institute ministry is Christian apologetics, and that's about really it boils down to defending the truth of the Christian faith. And just one thing that I had included in the post when we were talking about Jesus's death today was a link to a technical paper in the Journal of the American Medical Association, of all places. Now, most people probably have no idea that this exists, and I didn't until I watched. I forget how I found out about it, but when we were going through chapter 19 and talking about the death of Jesus, this just came to mind. I said, I'm going to include a link to this paper on that blog post. But I just want to share it with you right here because this may be of interest to you. If you're following along with this study, I would think that it certainly would be of interest because it's something that is it's interesting, if nothing else. But I'll just show you right here. This is the title page. Well, you can't really read that, but this is kind of the abstract page on the Journal of the American Medical Association website. When you look this paper up, it's called On the Physical Death of Jesus Christ. Okay? That's kind of crazy, right? You would never in your lifetime expect to see that in a Journal of American Medical Association. But anyway, let me just read you the abstract here. It says, Jesus of Nazareth underwent Jewish and Roman trials, was flogged, and was sentenced to death by crucifixion. The scourging produced deep, stripe-like lacerations and appreciable blood loss, and it probably set the stage for hypovolemic shock, as evidenced by the fact that Jesus was too weakened to carry the crossbar to Golgotha. At the site of crucifixion, his wrists were nailed, and after the patibulum was lifted onto the upright posts, his feet were nailed to the stipes. The major pathophysiologic effect of crucifixion was an interference with normal respirations. Accordingly, death resulted primarily from hypovolemic shock and exhaustion asphyxia. Jesus' death was ensured by the thrust of a soldier's spear into his side. Modern medical interpretation of the historical evidence indicates that Jesus was dead when taken down from the cross. Well, what does that, what does that mean? Well, there are people who one of the objections to Christianity is that Jesus never died on the cross. It's called the swoon theory. He wasn't really dead when they took him down from the cross, and they took him down thinking he was dead, and then they took him away, and then he came back to life then. So it's not really a miracle. That's one argument against Christianity. And I think that these authors wrote this paper really just to clarify what was understood. One, they took the Bible as a historic document because they based all their observations on what the Bible said about the events surrounding the death of Jesus. And then they made medical observations of those facts and came to a conclusion about it, that Jesus was in fact dead before he was taken down from the cross. They said he was dead before the soldiers thrust a spear into his side. And so, there are answers to all of these objections, all these questions. This is just further evidence. I mean, this in and of itself doesn't prove anything just by itself, but it certainly is evidence that supports the fact that the Bible is a historic document. It's not just some made-up book. It's a historic document that tells true history, and these conclusions support, the biblical account. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because it was kind of buried in the blog post, and I think that was extraordinarily interesting just to see it. And it's got some really cool illustrations and just a lot of history. If nothing else, it's just an interesting article. So, hey, I would point you to that. Go to the blog, marshillinstitute.com. Go to that website. Look at the blog. Go to, probably if you're looking at today, it'll be today's post, day 19, called the Empty Tomb. And so look at that, and down at the bottom there's a link to this paper. So go there and check it out, and hey, make a comment or something, or let me know what you think. And you can go on Facebook, our Facebook page also. Our Facebook page is facebook.com, and then that's / the Mars Hill Institute. So if you go there, that'll take you to the Facebook page, and it also has the sequential posts. So make sure it's day 19. Just go to day 19, and I may have the title wrong on that, but just go to day 19 in the blog post, and there's a link to this document. You can go and look at it for yourself, and it's definitely interesting. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.